Alright, hey guys, today we're going to be installing an aFe Magnum Force Stage 2 intake on the Jeep. You can see it has this really nice 7-layer oiled air filter. Looks really good. Overall, it's a really nice fit and finish for the JK. Looks really good. Seems really well made. Alright, before we get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you hit the notification bell, and as always, feel free to subscribe. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so our new intake is primarily a plug-and-play installation, but there is some light pre-assembly that needs to be done. You'll see we have our filter housing with these 5 holes, and then we have this round plastic piece that our new filter will mount onto, and it has these corresponding threaded inserts. And what we'll do is line those up, and then we'll take the provided screws and washers that aFe provides and simply tighten those up. Okay, and then once that's done, we have a trim piece that needs to be placed right along this edge, basically from this mounting point all the way around. Okay. You might have to use a little force. Okay, perfect. All right, then we have our 2 little feet that stick out the bottom that'll go into our factory location, and you can see that there are these 2 little semicircle rubber pieces provided by aFe, and those will go with the flat surface against the bottom of the intake housing. All right. You can see how those look right there. All right, and that's pretty much ready to go. Then another thing we need to do is in our intake tube, there's this little rubber grommet that aFe provides that you need to just simply pop right in there. And then that's where our new air temperature sensor is going to go. There's actually nothing wrong with the air temperature sensor that I have right now, but I figured while I'm at it I might as well replace it because it's like a $20 piece. And then this is where we're going to insert our air temperature sensor. And I'll recommend, if you can, fish a hand inside there and slowly twist it into place, trying not to push the grommet through along with it. It's a little bit of a snug fit, but you'll get it. All right. It's pretty good. Okay, and then from there we have some rubber pieces. You have the smaller one which will go on this end, and then the larger which goes on this end and attaches to our filter housing. Okay, and then it should look something like that. And then there will be corresponding worm clamps that will go around these ends. You can see 2 for this end. Okay, and then 2 worm clamps for this end. You can see one will go there and then there. All right, and you can tighten or loosen these using either a flat head or a simple 8mm socket wrench. And then there's one more piece of tubing which will simply plug into this little plastic piece that's sticking out right there, and that just ties into our evap system. So then once all of this is installed and then our new housing is in, our filter will have this large worm clamp which will go over it, and then we'll simply plug that in. And that's how that will sit in our engine bay. Alright, so to remove our factory OEM intake, it's pretty simple. We just have 2 worm clamps that we need to undo, and then everything pulls out pretty easily. So you can see we have 1 worm clamp there, and then we'll have another over on the throttle body. All right. Okay. Okay. And disconnect our oxygen sensor. You can see that's where it plugs in right there. Then pull out our factory air box, and it should come out one piece. Okay, and then you'll notice that we need to remove this tube right here. Oh, that connects into our evap system. All right, then you'll notice this hose, which comes out of the back of our factory intake, is part of the evap system, and we're gonna have to remove this little section right here. It might take a little bit of force. I had already loosened that up. A hose pick would be really handy, but just kind of set that off to the side, and then our new piece of tubing is gonna plug right into there. All right, so to install our new filter housing, we're gonna have to first remove this single bolt right here, which is a 10 millimeter. All right, and then you can see that's gonna go through there. And then we'll simply get this down into place, and it should line right up with those factory holes. All right, and then you can see that hole will line right up, and then we'll simply replace our screw. All right, beautiful. Then let's get our new intake tube in. I'll start by plugging in my oxygen sensor. That click into place. And then I think it's easier to get this end in. Get that slid over. Just kind of got to work it on there. All right. Okay, and then once that's on, slide this over our throttle body housing, and that should go right on. All right. And then, like I was saying, this tube will plug right into here in our evap system. Okay. Oop. Okay. Looks pretty good. Now, perfect. All right, now let's get these worm clamps tightened down, and I think we'll pretty much be done. All right. Okay. Okay, and this is plastic, so make sure you don't over tighten it, because you don't want to crack anything. All right, looks good. Make sure our worm clamp's properly in place. Okay. And you want to put these somewhere where you can easily get to them and they'll be accessible. All right. Looks like that's good. Okay, all right, and then our new filter should slide right on. Oh, beautiful. Okay, and then we'll tighten that down. Okay, looks good. All right, guys, well, I think she looks pretty good. I really dig it. As you can see, it's a pretty easy, straightforward install. Not too hard, anyone can do it in their driveway. Okay, now that it's in, let's go take a look at how she sounds and if I notice any difference in my throttle. All right. All right, so here's what the Jeep sounds like at idle with our stock airbox. This is from inside the cab. And then when I rev it a little bit, the exhaust a little bit. All right. And then driving. I'll roll up the window so we can hear it from inside a little bit better. the intake noise at all, the stock airbox. And then when I rev it a little bit, I feel like you hear more exhaust than anything else. Alright. Just kind of at cruising speeds. A little acceleration. You don't really hear much of anything, honestly. Alright, and then next we'll see what our new aFe intake sounds like. Alright, and now with our aFe intake installed, here we are sitting at an idle, revving the engine. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I definitely feel like I hear and I feel more drone coming through the exhaust. It's definitely a little bit louder. Yeah, especially in the lower RPMs. Yeah, I think I can definitely hear that. All right, now let's start driving. Roll up the window. You know, there's a lot of road noise, but I don't know, I want to say I definitely feel a little bit more, or I definitely hear a little bit more drone. You know, this road's kind of bumpy, and I'm not sure how well it translates through this video with this microphone. But I think yeah, I definitely think there's a little bit more drone coming through. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna say there's definitely a little bit more noise, especially when we're at idle and I rev the engine, and I think I definitely hear a little bit more maybe of a high-end drone when I accelerate, but just cruising at around 2,000 RPMs or the low RPMs, I don't really hear much of anything, which is good. That's kind of what I wanted. I'm not a big fan of loud intakes or exhausts. All right, well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, whether you hear a difference or not, all right? All right, well, there you have it, guys. As always, I hope you found this video useful. I hope you liked it. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up. As always, make sure you hit the notification bell so you get updates about all my new content. And then feel free to subscribe. All right, you guys take it easy.